Hey there, everyone. It's the author, Andrew Snorton, and you're joining me for the Fast 15, as we typically do on Wednesdays, about 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We take about 15 minutes for a moment to pause, check up, check in, enjoy a note from any of the books or audiobooks, close out with a few announcements, and get you on your way. Hopefully, as it helps you to kind of pause and reboot, I tell you what, it helps me to do the same thing. So I definitely appreciate each and every one of you for taking time to like, watch, share, repost, and all that type of thing. The easiest way to stay connected with me is going to be on Instagram. That's where you can go ahead and click on AuthorASnorton. There we go. AuthorASnorton on Instagram. Click on the link in the bio, and from there, you'll be able to check out the newsletter, which the current one just came out earlier today, September 18th. So you want to check that out. All the social media handles, any interviews, info on the archival edition of the Conversation Corner, the current podcast, Lens Depends, and of course, how to get a really good bag of coffee. That's right, with the Author Andrew Snorton blend. This is the bourbon infused I'm enjoying right now, and this is done in collaboration with Fonte's Coffee. So make sure to check all that info out. So before we get into things, I'm going to enjoy a sip of some really good coffee. Definitely want to make sure to check that out. So before we get into our topic for the day, always take time to acknowledge people who are doing well and some people who are not doing so well. As you full well know, life be lifing sometimes, and there's a number of people I know personally who are going through family transitions, whether it's a parent, whether it's a grandparent, it is a good friend, relative, all those types of things. And I know, in addition to the people I directly know, there's a good possibility that there's others out there who are going through the same thing. So if you or someone you know is going through the transition type piece, or they're just going through some type of struggle, it could be physical, mental, financial, emotional, things along those lines, just stressed. You have pent up stress and what have you, and the means you prefer to release them aren't happening. Hopefully, with all these things that are going on, please, we're rooting for you. We're praying for you. We're hoping that you're able to turn the corner as soundly as possible. If what you're dealing with requires professional attention, don't be afraid to get it. If what you're dealing with means you need to sit down somewhere and just pause and reboot and re-strategize, or any other informal means, please do so. I know for me, it's been a lot going on, so I have to go sit down somewhere, like the elders say. So that's what I'm doing right now. On the flip side, there's people who are going through some positives. There could be that job opportunity. You learned how to you learned how to make a cup of coffee. Just something positive to feed off that's aligned in your hopeful growth professionally, community-wise, physically, emotionally, all those types of things. So if you or someone you know is going through a positive experience, let's continue to applaud them, celebrate yourselves. Just make sure not to overdo it, because we don't want you getting too caught up, but feed off the positive energy to help you for the next set of challenges and the next set of accomplishments. And let's not forget those who are going through something. So those are our notes for the day. So our lesson or unit from the day is going to come from 9 Stories of Faith, Volume 1. 9 Stories of Faith, Volume 1. This is the second book that I wrote, and it's basically interview-based, where people open up about what their biggest daily challenge is and what they do through the lens of their respective faith, best practices in health and wellness, how they use their support network, and how they've changed their way of thinking to still live positive and powerful lives. And this one that I'm pulling from is from chapter 4, the book of Daniel. And I like this particular piece, which he goes in depth and detail about the moving parts and what have you. But I want to read this portion because it's something I had to go back to, and hopefully it helps others. So here it goes. Through the concept of karma, we understand the cycle of one's birthday, life, death, and rebirth. There are certain things that attach you to the world. Your focus is too detached so you can reconnect with God. The focus is on doing something of purpose and meaning, and in the end, reconnect with God, he shares. With a clear understanding of his purpose, what gives? What is his biggest challenge? He calmly states, keeping my focus. That's a whole lot to unpackage, and I can speak to it personally in regards to keeping my focus. And yeah, I use my calendar and write things down, and in general, I'm on task, but there's times where I get off task, or when there's some stressful situations that come about. Yeah, I've got things in place to help me, but there's times that I go left, go right, and I have to go sit down somewhere and get my mind together, or someone will politely be, hey, look, this is what we talked about, or hey, look, you need to operate in this lane. So I know for me, sometimes, when life kind of pulls me or what have you, in general, I keep my focus, but every once in a while, I will go left or go right. And I'm sure there's other people that can too. Another thing where it says, there are certain things that attach you to the world. Your focus is to detach so you can reconnect with God. I mean, when you think about the adages of stealing away and what have you, you need that hard reset to just get your mind and spirit right. And I know when people do their prayer, their meditation, they go for a walk, whatever, that's part of how they do it. But hopefully this can kind of be part of how they do it, how people do it. And like I said before from the jump, this isn't just a reset for you, it's a reset for me. So I'm grateful for this message, and it goes in a little bit more depth and detail. But again, I'm glad for the reminders. There's times that we're connected, but there's times we do have to disconnect and pause and reboot. There's times that we lose our focus and lose our way. And when we're kind of drifting, we need to stop and need to go ahead and get back on track. So that's the lesson from 9 Stories of Faith, Volume 1, the second book. Make sure to go pick that up when you get a moment. So before we get ready to wind down, a couple of announcements. Upcoming events. Do you remember the 21st of September? Well, you better, from 11:30 to 1:30, 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m., Black Dot Cultural Center, Lithonia, Georgia. Check me out. Excited to have Dr. Erica Macon as the moderator. So that'll be my next author's talk. I'll have all the books, info on the audio books, the coffee, as it'll be a good conversation. We'll probably start off the first 30 minutes or so, give people time to get there, get something to sip on. Hopefully we'll be able to do the bourbon infused on site, but if not, we'll figure out like the light or the medium roast. Then Dr. Macon and I will have a timely conversation just about the books, audio books, and the whole author journey. Open it up for questions, and then of course go ahead and get your book signings and all that type of thing. So real excited about that. October the 26th from 11:30 to 1:30 in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join me at Bo's Books and Brews. I will be doing an author's talk there. So real excited to get out to the Triangle. This will be the first time that I've done a signing in the Triangle in a few years. I got to give shouts to 42 and should be 42 and Lawrence. Oh my gosh, they're gonna I gotta stop by that coffee house there. But they did that was really my first one. So really excited about getting back up to Raleigh. Many thanks to the folks at Wake Forest University this past Friday as part of our homecoming. I know who does homecoming so early, we do. But this past Friday, nice time at the main campus bookstore, Taylor Hall, Wake Forest University. Thank you to everybody who stopped by and checked me out and supported. Have to give a shout just for homecoming in general. Shouts to the Wake Forest University School of Divinity. Great programming that I was able to attend on Thursday and Saturday. Thursday was Soul Spark, which was the inaugural event, the inaugural edition of them doing that. Great testimonies from alumni of the Divinity School, faculty, staff, and administration. Powerful piece. Shouts to Ninth Wonder and the DJL for being on the 1s and 2s, doing a great job, and a great brunch on Saturday. Shouts to the Association Wake Forest University Black Alumni for a very well done event on Friday, as well as Saturday for celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Gospel Choir. So definitely gotta give shouts to all those entities and whatnot. But again, looking forward to this Saturday, the 21st. Make sure to check me out, Black Dot Cultural Center. in Lithonia, Georgia, October 26th. Make sure to check me out at Bo's Books and Brews in Raleigh, North Carolina. We have some more stuff coming up in October and November, so we will drop that accordingly on the social media. Don't forget to get a bag of the really good coffee. Enjoy a sip with Snorton. This is the bourbon infused coffee as part of the Author Andrew Snorton blend, but of course we have decaf, light, and medium roasts. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I guess those are the main things. Please don't forget to like, add, share, repost. Add me on Instagram at AuthorASnorton. Click on the link in the bio. The very first thing you'll see will be the newsletter. Go through, add the different social media platforms that you're most comfortable with based on the platforms that I'm on. Check out everything. And I guess that's really about it. So obviously, thankful and grateful to everybody. I hope this provides an opportunity for you to pause and reboot. It definitely has for me, and it does for me. So until next time, as you guys know, whether slow or swift, movement is movement. Whether small or big, a victory is a victory. So keep it moving, keep it victorious. And I know I flip-flop the order, but that's just kind of how my mind works at times. So until next time, all of you take very good care. Continue peace and blessings.